And this afternoon I had one of those embarrassing experiences when you're talking to someone, you're both speaking the same language and neither of you can understand what the other one's saying. And I was speaking to a member of the band, the Undertones, and he asked me to play something for a whole bunch of people there in Derry. The names seem to be Eddie McLaughlin, Joe Breslin, Paddy Crawford, Dick Tucker, the McGillies.
And Flossie's still bringing in the emails. Here's one from Andrew in Holmfirth, West Yorkshire, saying, "Isn't it about time we heard the best record in the whole history of the world ever, yet again? Well, why not?"
She was mad, she looked so good. I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night. I'm gonna call her on the telephone. Have her over 'cause I'm all alone. I need excitement, oh I need it bad. And it's the best I've ever had. I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through.
71266 the number of the programme. Look, a local phone company is now making a documentary about the Undertones. It's presented by the man who first broadcast the single Teenage Kicks and who wants it to be played at his funeral. He's John Peel, of course, and he joins me in the studio. John, welcome.
Thank you very much.
John, time and music passes by, of course, very often, but still your number with his association with the Undertones, are you sick of that? Because you're seen as their champion.
No, I feel guilty that you know, that I've been sort of inflicted on them in a sense, you know. But I do. You're right. It is supposed to be played at my funeral, which hopefully won't be for a while yet. And indeed, I'm very tempted to arrange to have on my tombstone "Teenage Kicks so hard to beat," because I just think that's as profound as anything.
So hard to beat. Every time she walks down the street.
The initial idea was, let's do something because we're bored.
When she was mad, she looked so good. I wanna hold her tight. Yeah, teenage kids.
I thought the band were going to do well. There was I had a kind of self-belief that the band would get to some level.
Anything other than a real job, you know. I'm really glad I chose friends like that at school. Otherwise I would never have been in the Undertones at all.
Personally, to me, it was the biggest adventure on the planet.
Dear Mr. John Peel, this is a recording of the Undertones. We come from Derry, Northern Ireland. We are John, rhythm guitar, age 20, Mickey, bass, age 18, Billy, drums, age 18 and a half, Sharky, notice not Fergal, Sharky singing, 18, Damien, lead guitar, 16 and 3/4. We would like it if you would play the tape on your programme. Good luck, the Undertones. P.S. We have sent you some photographs of the band. All the songs are our own. So then John Peel wrote back, Dear Undertones, I've behaved like a typical music business arsehole over your tape, and I'm genuinely sorry about this. Really like the tape. I think you should record a session for us. John Peel, the world's most boring man.
Oh, right. I've lost the stamp that said John Peel, the world's most boring man.
Bull Park is up there where we used to play football and where we got the photographs taken for the first LP.
Yeah, that's it. Is that where the sleeve was done down there?
That's where the sleeve was done.
But we were talking about abuse, the Undertones and stuff. Recently, I'm up here, you know, the Undertones where it's written.
Yeah.
That was written by a certain fan of ours.
Yeah.
I think within like two or 3 days, somebody dubbed "hang" next to it.
Hard, yeah. Yeah.
Why do you find that funny?
I don't know. Fergal should be here, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't I need a stunt double for this?
for me to get up there?
It's only recently that I've realised that he's never here for these things because the four of us have now got so used to it, you know. But I do think it's a bit sad, but he was also always sort of more in the spotlight, and he always got the really the
bad as well as the good. Yeah.
Oh, desperate.
Mickey, just hold the feet out for a second. That's it. Lovely.
I found myself in a tent with John, Billy and Vincent O'Neill, and they had a band. They always had a band. I joined in a conversation, and I think one of them turned around and says, "Do you want to be in the band?" And I said,
I just vague memories, being much younger. I think I was 14 then or something, of them practicing in the living room, playing like Lindisfarne songs.
We were always listening to the music, and John was always a guy coming on with the records and playing the records, and we'd be thinking, God, it'd be great to do a song like that.
Probably dreaming about being in a band, you know, the usual thing about, I didn't do all that great at school and knew the job prospects weren't brilliant and stuff, so the only other way, a chance of making good money or having a job that you love was being a footballer or playing in a band.
It was actually Billy Doherty, who I was in the same class with at school. For months had been badgering me basically to come and sing in this band that him and a couple of friends of his had. And they did have lots of equipment and guitars and drum kits and amplifiers and things. Absolutely, and I was really impressed by the whole thing, to discover much later on that it was all borrowed and begged and absolutely none of it was theirs and none of it belonged to anybody and nobody really knew too much about what the hell they were doing.
Somebody must have said something to you that perhaps you ought to take this a bit more seriously, move outside the bedroom.
First ever show we played was a little scout hall. It was just in front of about 30 little kids, whatever, but it was a good laugh. Do you remember that? The very first time we ever played. Then, like a few weeks later, we played again in front of like hundreds of kids in this school, secondary school, and that went even better.
Oh, did it? They weren't. Sometimes they kind of, you know, they know you too well to be prepared to acknowledge that they.
No, we went down great actually. It was really.
And that was probably
it was a huge boost for our confidence.
Did they like you, or were they,
they
pissed off that they thought you show off?
Absolutely despised and loathed us every second of it. Plus that, you know, they were kind of waiting to go, well, the summer holidays are here and we have to stand in this gymnasium listening to this lot for the next 20 minutes when we should be outside sort of robbing orchards and nicking cars and doing whatever people do during the school holidays. Absolutely.
The actual town, I mean, it was bleak that years because of the troubles. There was nothing going on there, no bands ever played. It needed an injection of money and stuff, and of course that didn't happen. I was quite young as well, so I didn't really know what was going on then. A few years later I got to find out, like music-wise, it was in the doldrums.
The thing was that you know, to put it in context, I guess, that on the sort of the live circuit, and even then is perhaps a bit of a grandiose description of it, there was kind of two types of bands at the time. One that still predominantly exists, which were generically known as show bands, that in effect simply did live versions of this week's top 40. And every week they would learn a completely new set based on that week's top 40. And the other were kind of, I guess, by modern methodology, have become called tribute bands, where they knew how to play every single note from Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and every Friday night would replicate every single note, where we were kind of, no, you don't want to do that, mate.